Hello everybody, just a quick tutorial on how to get a car FiveM ready, an add-on car like from GTA 5. What I did is I opened GTA 5, clicked on vehicles and some of the first add-ons listed, just went through. In this case I'll just use this skid steer as an example. It can be any car, any vehicle model, pretty much any PED model. This is specifically for vehicle models right now though. So what you want to do is you want to download your add-on resource. Replacement works the same way, just add-ons require a little bit more work. So download an add-on, which I've already done and is right here. The cat. Go ahead and extract the download, open it up, you see add-on, and you'll see it has a dlc.rpf that is not ready to stream as it is. Uh, Most models will come with a README file. Make sure you open it up. It gives you basics on how to do it. Make sure that you have Open4 installed. This would be, if you're adding it to LSPDFR, you need your DLC list information. If you're just doing the DLC list for ripping models for FiveM, all you need is this dlc.rpf. So let's go ahead and do that. One thing you do want to make sure you do is in your Grand Theft Auto folder, in your common folder for Steam, wherever you have your Grand Theft Auto folder, you should have two copies, one for FiveM and one for LSPDFR or whatever. You want to make sure that you have your LSPDFR folder. All you have to do is rename this one to something dash LSPDFR whatever and one for FiveM. We're going to be using the LSPDFR folder. Open up your Grand Theft Auto folder here. Go into mods. If you don't have it, make sure you create it. Mods, update, x64 DLC packs. And what you need to do is create a folder. In here, we're going to call it, what cat? We'll just do lowercase cat. We'll just call it Bobcat. It really doesn't matter what you call this folder. It's a DLC pack. We're just using it to rip the files. Open up your Bobcat folder, take this dlc.rpf, copy it. It's good to have multiple browsers open for this, window explorers. Just paste that DLC in here. Okay. Now go into Open4, into your mods folder, the same path, DLC packs, and you'll see that we now have Bobcat at the bottom. Open that. Open your dlc.rpf. Now what we're going to do is we're going to rip these files out so we can stream them. So go into your x64 vehicles folder, take these models right here, go into the folder you created. I'm just going to close that to get it out of the way. Go into the folder that you created. In this case, we're just going to call it resource name. We could call it Bobcat. You can call it whatever you want. This is the name of the resource that's going to load. Create that folder. Inside here, you're going to want a stream folder. Right now, there's nothing in it. And a resource.lua. The resource.lua needs to look like this to make a reference to any file that gets added. These little dash marks are LUA comment lines. That means it'll ignore these lines. They're all green here. Resource manifest version. If you don't know which version to use, I'll link you to this site here. It's the manifest versions for the native files. The most recent one right here, I've already got it highlighted. From June 7th, 2017. This one will give you the most updated native file. For vehicles, it doesn't matter so much, but you want to use the most recent resource manifest version here. So this variable should be set. Your files, any data files you're going to be using, you don't actually have to include the stream folder in here. So you're going to go into your stream folder. This is where your vehicles go. If it's a replacement vehicle, you would create a new folder and call it Washington if you're replacing the Washington, and then you'd go in this folder and place all your Washington.ytf and ytd files in there. Since we're not doing that, let's delete that. Any add-on vehicles go directly in the stream folder. So we're going to go back in here, vehicles. This is from the dlc.rpf we just put in. Take all these, copy them into here. There you go. Your cat blah 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 underscore high. This is your high definition, high polygon version LOD of the model. And if it's done properly, your low version will be the no underscore high YFT. This does not look like it was done properly because the high version is a smaller file. Generally, it's the other way around. And this is your texture file, your YTD. If you want to open up and edit your textures first, you just go into Open 4, Edit. You find the texture that you want to edit. Generally, it's called something dash sign. In this case, this is the textures for the body here and the tracks. Here's cat back logo. There you go. If you want to change your caterpillar logo to something else, you'll see your libraries. All your textures will be in this file. To change them, you just click on it and say replace, or you drag and drop. So that's how that works. Model files and texture files. Any editing you need to do, you do through Open 4 here. This is all in the dlc.rpf. Okay. That's going to be x64 vehicles. And there you go. So now you have your models in your stream folder ready to go. The next thing you need to do, you need to rip out, we're going to go to DLC data folder. You're going to rip out any handling, vehicles, stat meta, car calls, car variations, vehicle layouts, any of the meta files that are not DLC text. You do not need this file right here. It's useless in FiveM. So we're going to just select both of these. We're going to drag these directly into this folder. Then we're going to open up our resource .lua. Make sure that we make reference to both of these files. If we added car variations, we'd simply uncomment this line and this line right here. Okay. This is a really basic format. Comment lines out and it'll ignore it. So we got vehicles and handling. This is important that they're listed in the resource.lua file. So we're going to go in here and I'm going to just give you a brief overview of what the vehicles meta covers. The model name, let me open this folder right here. Model name, in this case, wait a minute, why is that still saying excavator? Let me close this. Don't save. Let me go back in here. Edit. There we go. Okay. This is a big no-no. This is one example of how they sent the file. Okay, they've got all this extra garbage in here. We don't need this. We're not using a K5. This model name has to match the YFT. This texture name has to match the YTD. So all this garbage from item to item, the semi-hauler, we don't have that in there. Overkill, 2018 Ram, 18 Denali. All these are add-on vehicles that somebody added. This should not have been in the package like this. We're going to delete all this. This takes up resources. It's just more stuff to load in a resource, and it weighs down the server. So we don't need all this junk. None of it. Delete all this. Make sure we find the cat 259. This is a lot of files in here. Look at this. This should not be this many. This is a very important process to do if you want to keep your server load down. Is trim the fat basically. Delete anything that you don't need. So I'm just going to keep scrolling and scrolling. My goodness, there's a lot of stuff in here. A lot of stuff. There's the cat 259 right there. So we're going to delete all that stuff we just selected. We're going to bring this back over to here. So cat 259, this is the model name. It has to match the YFT and the _high YFT. These names, this name right here, you don't have to worry about the _high. This just has to match with _high. YFT, that's your actual model files. That's what goes right here. This name has to match exactly. The texture name, that's your YTD file right here. That has to match exactly. The handling ID, and just in case it didn't come with one, or if it's a replacement, make sure that this is a valid handling ID. In this case, that would be in the handling meta. And of course, I got all this stuff. Just to save time for the video, I'm just going to search cat. Okay. Make sure, and you want to strip all this other garbage out. All you need is item to item right here for cat. That's all you need in here. But make sure this name exactly matches the handling name, exactly matches the handling ID right here. The game name, this could be anything you want. This is what shows up in the bottom right corner. And the vehicle make name shows in front of that or after the comma for the game name. So these two, the game name and the vehicle make name, you can call those whatever you want. So if it was a Chevy Silverado, we could put Silverado here and Chevy here. These really are, they don't matter. Expression name, there's no vehicle layouts file, so we don't have to worry about that. The audio hash name, this is where you get all your sounds from for the vehicle. You know, layout unknown, that's fine, because there's no definition for it. But the audio hash name, like the Windsor for a V8 sound, police for police sound, whatever. That's what that's for. I'm just going to briefly touch on this stuff. Here's where you get like dark tinted windows from diffuse tint. Make sure that this is set to 00 and then 6Fs for the hexadecimal code. This is white or transparent in this case. This will affect your window tint. So make sure this is this value exactly. LOD distances, this is how far away you'll see your underscore high file. Usually this is like 15. This one's shown at 500, which means you'll see it for a very far distance away in high definition. These are really high values actually. Minimum seat height, all this stuff. This is all just layout information. Flags, if there's extras, you want to make sure it says flag extras all or flag extras require. Emergency vehicles will be flag underscore emergency underscore service or flag underscore law underscore enforcement. That's just touching on that stuff. If you wanted to spawn in traffic, you set your drivers here. If you wanted to have trailers, you set a trailers in here and then change the tag. I'm sorry, in here. And drivers, etc. All this stuff. All this stuff is basically just generic vehicle meta information. Back to the handling, all you need is a handling line. You don't need to edit this at all. If you wanted to change the weight of the vehicle, it's saying it's about 5,000 pounds basically, or 5,000 kilograms. I'm not sure. I think it's kilograms. It might be pounds. Your forward initial drag coefficient, and it's going to be 200% submerged before it starts to drown, yada yada yada, or sink. This is all of your actual handling information here, including, you know, speeds and gearing, gear ratio, all that stuff. Car variations, car colors. Car colors will have your mod kits, and car variations will have reference to your lighting patterns, sirens, mod kits, and all that. Since there aren't any in this pack, we'll go over that in another video. But that's it. I mean, honestly, we're done that quick. You can call this whatever you want. You can call it Bobcat. Put your stream folder in there. Put your model files in the stream folder. Make sure you have a resource underscore LUA. And I can probably link to, you know, an example, something. Might even, well, I can't zip this up and post it because it's not my model. But this video should show you exactly how to do it for any vehicle. This is FiveM ready as it is. Literally, this resource can go in right here. You're going to take this as soon as you're done. Send to compressed folder. There you go. There's your .zip. Upload that to Google Drive or whatever, Dropbox, and then give the link to somebody and they can download it. That is literally it. And then if you're actually running a server, all you got to do is add to your server config. Just add a line. Start, resource name, you know, whatever it's called. If it's Bobcat, just start Bobcat. Make sure this name matches your folder. And this won't be commented out. Make sure that's not commented. There it is. Start resource name. Whatever your folder is. No spaces. If you want to do like a space, you do an underscore or a dash. But that's it. And your server is ready to go. Refresh your resource, or refresh and start your resource, and you're all set. It'll work. So that's what I wanted to cover. I wanted to cover. Oops. I wanted to cover how to create this folder, okay, how to pull it out of a dlc.rpf. It didn't take me that long, but if you consider having to do this for multiple vehicles and other stuff, it gets time consuming. But once you get the hang of it, and we'll go over in more videos how to exactly, explain what these meta files do. I think that's important for people to understand, and it's important primarily that this is the most important factor, that this model name and texture name match, that the handling name matches the meta handling name. So just make sure that that stuff is all set. If you want to rename your model, you can go in here. You can rename this to Bobcat. Bobcat. Make sure you do that for each of these, and then you go into your meta files and literally rename each of those. Just like that. It has to match. And that's important. That'll save time for whoever's got to mess with it on the server. But yeah, so let's close that. Let's rename that back to cat259 because I don't really feel like renaming all these files right now. Probably not even going to use this. Might end up using it on the server. Who knows? But anyway, there you go. That's how you do it. I know I didn't use an actual car card, but it doesn't matter. It's the same process for any add-on for any vehicle. If it's a replacement, just keep in mind, you go to your stream folder, new folder, whatever vehicle you're replacing it with, say it's an exemplar. Make sure the name of the folder matches exactly with the model files, YFT and YTD. And that's it. Replacement files, create the folder, drop them in there. Add-on models, just drop right in your stream folder. Make sure these metas are accurate. And that's it. Police vehicles are a little bit more involved. Generally, they'll have the car colors and car variations, or at least the car variations file. We'll go over that in another video. This is just a basic how to get an add-on vehicle ripped out of a dlc.rpf and FiveM resource ready. That should cover it. If you have any questions, go back over the video. You can pause it, slow it down, kind of follow along. I know I speak kind of fast and I was going over it pretty quick, but that's why it's recorded. You can go over that, make sure you got everything right. And that's it. And then when you're done with Open 4, you can literally go back out of this folder here. By the way, if you wanted to add this to your LSPDFR, there's only one more step you'd have to do. Go into your update common data, take your DLC list.xml, edit it, and literally copy, paste, and add one of these lines. Just make sure it says cat259 right here, whatever it's going to be that you're adding. Just add a new line. I'll show you just for the sake of doing it. This would be cat259, and that's it. Save that file and you're done. It's literally ready to load into LSPDFR. That's it. That's it for the video, except there's only one other thing I wanted to do, is show you how to remove it from your game if you don't want it. You just go back in here, take that Bobcat folder, whatever folder you created with the DLC in it, say delete, and that's it. You're done. So you can literally do this as many times as you want and not affect your game. Do make sure though, if you are going to load FiveM on the same machine, you rename this folder to GTA5-LSPDFR, and then your FiveM folder will be your, it should look like this. Just delete FiveM off the end. Make sure you remember to do that if you're loading into FiveM. It's a pain in the butt, but you can create a shortcut to your common folder, like I did here, and you can access it really easy every time. That's about it. I guess just, the other meta files, we could do a separate video on those, go more in detail. We could do some videos about how to just do basic LUA coding, which is a really simple language. Maybe some fundamentals of coding, get into editing plugins, maybe go over some of the ESX stuff. Probably not going to touch on databases because it's hard to do that without getting into sensitive and complex stuff. But that's it. We'll do more videos for you know, other resources, maybe other vehicles, police vehicles, anything with emergency lighting, etc.